Do you want to catch such a big tuna? In fact, this matter is super simple. But we all know everything in the world is limited, right? A bluefin tuna about 3 meters long. That's extremely rare. If you're attracted to these big fish, then keep reading. It's sure to leave you stunned. It will definitely shock you so much that you can't even close your jaw. With the arrival of a new day, Bobby the bedbug is looking at the current weather. It feels like this is the perfect time for fishing. Tuna is sure to be caught, so as to improve one's own difficult life. For this, he went to his favorite fishing spot. He once reaped a lot here. This made Bobby full of confidence, firmly believed that a giant tuna can be caught today. When he arrived at the destination, Bobby's detector made a discovery. I was extremely excited looking at the pictures on the display screen, well aware that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. After passing the message out, it immediately aroused Billin's vigilance. Be careful of the tuna on the sea surface. And during the waiting process, 2 people, Dave and Taylor, the coordinate positions were further confirmed. Get ready to go there quickly. Let's see if we can achieve something. Suddenly, their fishing rods bent. A fish bit the fishhook. Ryan immediately stepped forward and grabbed it. Bobby also rushed to the deck, start to assist in dealing with other fishing rods. Only Drew's reaction was a little slow. However, at this moment, the fishing line broke. This is really rather absurd. A tuna has just been hooked. It broke instantly. I really don't know why he is so unlucky. Captain Zach of the Rocket. It feels rather cold at the moment. But for now, there is no other way. His boat is really too small. Moreover, I haven't been able to catch any fish recently. There were only some gains yesterday, although the situation is slightly better than that of Bobby. But the predicament faced is equally severe. On the ocean at night, the temperature is significantly lower than that on land. Zach also curled up his body, longing for a bit of warmth. On the hot tuna on the other side, OTT got separated from Jared again. I guess they're taking turns to rest. However, the captain had no rest. At this time, their detector responded. Tuna appeared nearby. It's just that the waiting time is quite long. The detector rang for a full half an hour. But still, there was no sign of tuna. Both of them were eventually a little discouraged. Suddenly, the fishing line flew out with a bang. It gave OTT a fright. He reacted quickly, hold the fishing rod tightly, and start to retrieve the fishing line. After Tim rushed over, it was found that this fish was extremely heavy. The hooked tuna is obviously a huge thing. OTT was a little incredulous at first, but after taking the fishing rod, it was also confirmed that what Tim said was not false. Then he increased the force in his hand. Soon the tuna was pulled up a few meters. This made the 2 people even more excited. OTT's face also flushed. As the tuna surfaced, Tim picked up the harpoon quickly, thrust sharply at the tuna. As this fish lies on the sea surface, control the tuna immediately and tie a rope. Unexpectedly, OTT caught the fish first. The luck of the 2 is really good. I think he can win the final championship. As the tuna was dragged to the deck. After measurement, this fish is 91 inches long. They may be able to have breakfast at home tomorrow. When the sun of the new day rises, the hot tuna returned to the port. Starts selling the caught tuna. After the acquirer gets the fish, the useless parts were cut off immediately. Finally, the fish weighed 342 pounds. Remove the core and the fishtail meat. The eyes of the acquirers were attracted. Think this thing is brightly colored. However, the quality of the fat is poor. The core appearance is mediocre. Overall, it is not satisfactory. It can only be offered at $14 per pound. Let them make a profit of $4,788 US. Several people still at the port. They also gathered together. Have a pre-departure communication. Provide clues for Bobby. Help him search for tuna. This matter was learned by Taylor and OTT. Rumors were also provided. Don't be fooled by Taylor's seriousness at the moment. But don't forget that this person is restless. Bobby has just left the deck. Taylor rushed onto the boat quickly, attempting to seize the driver's seat and slip away. Fortunately, Bobby stopped it in time. Such dangerous actions of the two. OTT and Dave, however, did not participate. After some frolicking, the crowd gradually dispersed. Captain Nick of the small shell gazed at the small creatures on the sea surface, listening to the beeping sound of the detector. They understand that this is not tuna, but it is also clear that tuna is about to show up. After all, after the dolphin, it is often accompanied by tuna tailgating, especially there are whales in the distance. This made Nick very excited, firmly believed that one can catch tuna. Suddenly, his fishing rod moved. The long-awaited prey has taken the bait, and they are two tunas. Cliff and Nick each hold a pole, start fighting with the tuna. But these two fish are rather fierce. Keep circling in the water. The fishing line will break if one is not careful. So the two of them kept a distance, each engaged in a fierce battle with the tuna, although they caught two fish. But in the end, only one of them could be taken away. At this point, Nick asked Braden to take over. Obviously, the captain was tired. Being a leader is indeed glorious. If you want to step back, you can let go easily. Suddenly, Cliff's fishing line broke. His tuna escaped 2 miles. Fortunately, there is still one left in hand. Nick clenched the fishing rod again. Concentrate on the battle. Cliff's defeat seemed to intimidate him. After half an hour of intense competition, the tuna is about to surface. Nick immediately intensified his efforts. However, at this moment, the fishing line broke as well. Such a good opportunity has been wasted by you in vain. You really shouldn't have played. It might be different for the main angler, Braden. The captain of the Fishing Mania, Greg. Looking at the beautiful scenery before me, I couldn't help but admire it in my heart. If tuna can be caught at this moment, it will surely be more perfect. Suddenly, there was a movement from the detector. The two people on the deck immediately became alert. The fishing rod bent, and everyone moved quickly. Recycle the fishing lines dragged away by tuna. Dirty grabbed behind the fishing rod. It was found that the fish had run away with a string. Billen felt that this mission was arduous. Not only should the fleeing tuna be retrieved, it is also necessary to do one's best to ensure that the fishing line does not break. Strive to catch up with the currently lagging ranking. However, he discovered during the recycling process, the fishing line seems to be entangled with the fishtail. This is obviously not good news. One must act with greater caution. Otherwise, the fishing line may break at any time. Fortunately, he is highly skilled. Successfully dragged the tuna to the surface of the sea. Seeing this, Dirty quickly picked up the harpoon, aimed at the target, and thrust down with great force. Tuna have also lost their ability to resist. One can only make a last-ditch struggle. After several people controlled the violently shaking fishtail, quickly fastened the rope. They caught tuna again. Looking at the spoils on the deck, the measurement result shows 94 inches. Although it is not as large as the giant objects captured before, but it was also a good gain. The captain of the tuna net, Dave, and OTT of the Hot Tuna. Everyone was talking animatedly on the ship. Taylor's actions at the dock today. It leaves those who are unaware completely confused. The Fishing Mania has now returned to the port. Start selling caught tuna. After the acquirer quickly eliminated the useless parts, the tuna still weighs 403 pounds. It can be regarded as a big fish. Then observe the texture of its meat. The color is as bright as cherries. The fat content is slightly insufficient. Fortunately, the core part is still good. It can be sold at a unit price of $18. It brought an income of $7,254 to several people. Taylor of the Windmill. I am extremely anxious at the moment. Just one step away from the championship throne, but it has never been accessible. Although tuna can often be caught, but it always misses out on the first place. Now it's even worse. Even the trace of tuna is hard to find. Only the sound of the detector could be heard. Suddenly, Taylor sat up abruptly. A tuna has bitten the hook. He rushed towards the deck immediately. Start to recycle the fishing line that has been pulled away. Marissa put away the unresponsive fishing rod. The situation of Taylor. After Bobby learned about it, hurriedly reminded the two people on the deck. Be on guard against tuna that may bite at any time. The windmill is extremely busy here. I didn't notice that I was getting closer to the bedbug. Fortunately, Bobby discovered the anomaly in time. He quickly steered the boat away. No, they have actually discovered it. It's just that it failed to avoid it in time. Fortunately, the ending was satisfactory in the end, as Bobby gradually moved away. The two can also focus on the battle with peace of mind. Marissa noticed when she was reeling in the wire. This tuna might be larger than expected. The feedback coming from the fishing rod, its weight and strength, are both extremely powerful. After Taylor took the fishing rod, it confirmed that what Marissa said was true. The pressure is indeed greater than that of the fish caught before, although this contest continued until dusk. But fortunately, the result was satisfactory. The outline of the tuna could be faintly seen by the side of the ship, although there's only a faint light. As the tuna surfaced, Taylor threw the harpoon resolutely, although everything happened rapidly, but it successfully hit the target. Make the tuna float feebly on the sea surface. The two people tied it to a fixed rope. After the tuna cools down in the sea, they work together to pull it onto the ship. Facing this huge fish, can't wait to take the measurement. It was found that its length reached 103 inches. It is indeed a huge fish. Captain Zach and the crew of the rocket, I'm in distress at the moment. Not only was no tuna caught, still drifting at sea, enduring cold and hunger. However, just at this moment, the dawn broke. Nick from the small shell found them. The original intention was to understand their situation. However, the predicament of several people was discovered. Immediately offer a helping hand. This made Zach and others extremely delighted. Decide to go to them immediately. Solve the meal problem for tonight. The following story needs no elaboration. Nothing interesting happened during that period. Let's take a look at the windmill at this moment again. They have returned to the port. They found their most trusted acquirer. Start dealing with this tuna in your hand. However, this end is going to make a profit. After cutting off the useless parts, the net weight of the tuna is only 441 pounds. Next, the inspection of the fish meat will be carried out. The performance of this piece of meat is not bad. The color presents a brilliant red. The fat content is not high, but the most unexpected part is the core part. The performance was slightly inferior. It is impossible to offer a too high unit price. Only $14 per pound can be offered. It can be seen that Taylor is not very satisfied. However, the situation is still better than that of the bedbug. After all, $6,174 were earned this time. When the sky shines again, Nick and Zach started chatting, talking about the recent gossip, but it seems there's nothing new either. It's still the matter of Bobby and Taylor. How slowly you spread this news. After chatting with each other for a long time, the fishing rod on Zach's boat suddenly moved. Obviously, a fish bit the fish hook. Several people became excited instantly. I didn't expect that a fish would suddenly bite the hook. After Zach grabbed the fishing rod, it was found that this fish was a little clumsy. Why make futile struggles? Although it employed some techniques. Sometimes it floats up, and sometimes it dives down violently. But these methods don't seem to work. Within just over 10 minutes, the tuna floated up a considerable distance. It even floated directly to the sea surface, although the distance is still a bit far. But this has already excited everyone greatly. Sean even stood up. The eyes were filled with anticipation. When the tuna swims close, Sean quickly picked up the harpoon. Stab at the exhausted tuna. Firmly control the fish that is trying to escape. Zach tied up the fish immediately. Dragged the tuna onto the boat. The fish was measured to be 95 inches long. Their luck is really not bad. The prey was successfully captured at the last moment. When they returned to the port, it has also darkened. After delivering the tuna to the purchaser, it is expected that this fish can be sold at a good price. After eliminating the useless parts, the net weight of the tuna is still 327 pounds. Examine the texture of the fish meat closely. Bright in color and rich in fat. The core part is clear and transparent. The overall condition is excellent. The acquirer offered $21 per pound. This unit price is quite considerable. Let them make a profit of $6,567 US. If the weight of the tuna were not slightly insufficient, the profits are sure to be more substantial. Frankly speaking, I didn't expect it. The windmill was able to win the championship again. Leave the other competitors behind. That's all for this episode. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next wonderful episode together.